Yes, yes, we're here. We're here. How you guys doing? It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to TWB Traveling with Bruce. I'm Bruce. You've made it. You found me. I don't know how you found me, but you found me. I'm glad you're here. Cheers, everybody. Caffeine-free Diet Coke, courtesy of the Coca-Cola Company. Actually, it's not courtesy of the Coca-Cola Company. It's not like they've courtesied me with a free sample. I bought this stuff, but I am open to discussing a sponsorship anytime Coca-Cola is ready. Whenever they feel the need that they need a YouTube channel with 3,800 odd subscribers, I'm the guy. I'm there for them. I'll be more than happy to give them a plug every day. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. First of two. I'm doing two shows today. This one at 5 o'clock Eastern, and then 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. My trivia show, live trivia, is on tonight at 8 o'clock. So you got nothing better to do with yourself. Check out the trivia later tonight at 8 o'clock. Got some topics ready to go. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Welcome back to the channel. Those of you who are my regulars, I'm glad you're here as always. Those of you who are brand new, welcome to Bruce, Traveling with Bruce here. I'm out of Canada right now. I'm sitting here in Creston, British Columbia. It's a cloudy, rainy day. We had rain this morning, but I'm lucky because we're around 55 degrees here, and only about an hour's drive away from here, maybe 2 hours from here, is snow. Already a little early, but it's coming down. And apparently where I was last week in Calgary, which is 5.5 hours from here, saying goodbye to our daughter last week. She was heading to Los Angeles, where she is right now. In Calgary, they've got snow. They've got like that much snow, that much. A 1 week difference. Oh, the timing is everything. They got a quirky system and a cold front that came through and a wet front that came in and just mixed it all up, and down came the snow. And they had like 2 inches in an hour. Rush hour this morning was a disaster in Calgary. I'm glad I'm not there. Here, it's just rain, and we're 50-55 today. We're going to stay in the rain. We're not going to get any snow here, so all is good. And in a couple of days, we dry out, and we're back into the sort of the low 60s. That's kind of typical for this time of year. Leaves are all turning around here. They've gone from the greens now to the reds and the oranges and the yellows. I'm just kind of looking out my window here. That's why I'm doing that. So it's all changing fast into fall, big time fall. Of course, October the 2nd is today's date, October 2nd, 2018. Unbelievable. The channel, oh my gosh, my channel, 3,820 subscribers as of yesterday. Right now, 3,835, 15 more have piled on to join in with the fun. Thank you, new subscribers. Welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. You're going to get, hopefully you hit the little bell icon. There's 2 ways you can subscribe. There's a button here, there's a button over here. One of these 2 buttons has a little bell icon beside it. Hit that at the same time. Hit that too. You'll get notifications every time I do a video, every time I'm going live. And speaking of a new video, I did a video today, this morning. I got one off talking about the Voyager of the Seas. Oh, did they have fun on the Voyager of the Seas? Get to that in a minute. Just to quickly say hi to everybody and say thank you for all your support for this humble single YouTuber here. Jen and I, Jennifer, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife, she and I are just thrilled with all the support we're getting. A special shout out today to Auntie Jane in New Zealand. Auntie Jane has made a donation. This morning. It landed. I think it landed like really early this morning on my PayPal donation button, which is on my homepage up here. And thank you, Auntie Jane, for making a donation to this guy's channel. It's not the first time you've done it, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Jennifer, I told Jennifer, look what Auntie Jane did. I'm holding up the phone, showing her the email alert that I got, and she's just going, "Wow, we got to meet this gal. It's gonna happen somehow." So just fantastic. Thank you so much. Also, those of you who've been picking up Traveling with Bruce merchandise, thank you again. I know some of you are getting packages, and from time to time you'll post a picture of what it looks like on the Facebook group page we have for Traveling with Bruce. Thank you for all of you who are posting on Traveling with Bruce, the group page. I love it. It's fantastic. We have over 205 members now, something like that. It's just like every couple of days, a couple more come in. It's great. The channel is just growing over there as well. Fantastic. So in between live shows, head on over to Traveling with Bruce on Facebook and see what he's up to. So that's kind of cool. And then thank you for those of you who are watching commercials. Thank you for that. And then thank you also for some of you who are letting me know too. And I appreciate this. You're letting me know. Bruce, I shared your video on my Facebook page to all my friends. Thank you for doing that, because that is exposing my channel to further networks, and it's leading to more followers, which is just fantastic. That's what it's all about. And then what was I going to say? Oh, Amazon. I have a link to Amazon through this page. Oh, someone just sent me something. Who did that? Who's that? Oh my God, excuse me, folks. Randy Lucas. Randy, thank you. I get a little window that pops up in the corner of my my phone here, and it'll be if a donation pops in while I'm yapping at you. And I just caught it. It's Randy Lucas. Thank you, Randy, for your donation. Thank you so much. Not the first time for you either. Thank you very much. Amazon. Oh my goodness. Somebody bought something on Amazon the other day. Somebody bought some luggage, and somebody picked up, oh, what the heck was it? Jeez, Bruce, what was it? Somebody bought something the other day. Oh, it was an electric piano, like an 88 key electric piano. And it's not like they're incredibly expensive, but the commission rate on these are pretty good. So they both got delivered, I guess, yesterday through Amazon's system, and my account showed a royalty coming in for like $23 American dollars, American money. Fantastic. Whoever bought those items, thank you so much for using my humble little Amazon affiliate link to do it. You can see the link down below in the description of this video, or you can see it on my homepage where those icons are. They're either over here or they're over here. I always get mixed up. So thank you for that too. So my goodness, folks are finding ways to support this humble YouTuber on his quest to try to make a living off of this crazy business. I love it. And thank you all very much. It just keeps me going. It just pumps me up to no end. I love it. Okay. Yeah, the story of the day. Let me bring the computer in a little bit. Now that you've seen my shirt, I'll just bring in my computer, and my camera's up here, right there, and my notes are over here. And I got a brand new, I have a brand new participant in the show. It's called my big ass iPad. It's the BAIP, the big ass iPad, courtesy of Robert Brandt from St. Thomas Virgin Islands. Check this baby out. Robert, this is unbelievable. I still can't get over it. A 12.9-inch iPad Pro found its way into my house from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. What a great move. I'm learning this thing. We just got the iOS 12 updates in here, so that's, it's all new. And wow, what a machine. This thing was quite the thing when this thing landed. And we premiered it yesterday for the first time. I have it on a music stand here beside the screen, and I've got the messages scrolling here. I have my notes over here as well, so I can refer to what I want to tell you about today. And oh, it's just awesome. I thank you again, Robert, for that. That's just absolutely outstanding. Thank you, Auntie Jane. Thank you, Randy and Michelle Lucas, because I know Michelle is involved. Thank you for that too, and all you guys. Thank you. I'm really glad you're here. 47 of you here. I did a video this morning on Voyager of the Seas. There was a story out of well, the story is coming out of Australia, and maybe some media in Malaysia. But the story goes that this cruise ship, Royal Caribbean cruise ship, built in 1999. It's been refurbished a number of times. Last time in 2014. You want to replicate this ship today? $1 billion. It's going to run you $1 billion. It's 1,050 feet long. It's 158 feet wide. Holds 3,200 passengers, plus even more if you wanted to load it up, plus your crew. They were doing a cruise about 3 weeks ago. It was a 3-day cruise about 3 weeks ago, coming out of Singapore, and it was just supposed to go up the coast of Malaysia and turn around and come back. It's a 3-day cruise. Nothing, too much. A relaxing getaway is what I would call that. Well, you had about 17, 1800 people on board the ship that were families, husbands and wives and, kids and grandmas and grandpas, the whole 9 yards. And all of a sudden, a whole bunch of single guys come on the ship, like 1,300 single guys, all from India. They're all employees of a tobacco company in India. And this tobacco company, I guess, they did a mass purchase of cabins for this cruise. And unbeknownst to the 1,800 innocent victims, they had no idea they were on a 3-day bender cruise. They had no idea they were on a real bender of a cruise. And these 1,300 guys, they were probably pumped up for months by their employer that if they hit certain quotas or certain performance parameters or whatever they were doing at their work, that they would qualify for a cruise, a 3-day cruise with a flight to Singapore and probably a hotel there. And oh man, these guys would have had a party. Well, they were having a party, and they were having it on this ship on this 3-day cruise. Well, these 1,800 people who were already didn't know they didn't know they were on a corporate outing charter type deal where there would be all kinds of shenanigans going on, and there were all kinds of shenanigans going on. Oh my gosh, you knew you were in trouble. You knew you were in for a long 3 nights because of the first thing you do is normally you have a sail away party on the pool deck. You have a sail away party. Well, there was no sail away party. Hell no, these 1,300 guys were all up there and just having a blast of a good time. They weren't going to have no sail away party. No. Once they left port, the music got cranked up. You could just imagine with the woofers and the bass, it'll probably just reverberate through the whole ship. It's boom, 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 boom. Oh, they had the scantily clad women wearing Playboy bunny outfits. To me, I think what this was, this is the third world meeting the first world. Okay, you're talking about this is all new and exciting for the folks from India because you get an opportunity to set certain sales quotas for a booming economy in a country that's coming along. I mean, the middle class in India is growing leaps and bounds. You got people making money that they've never made before. You have companies making money that they've never made before. And so this tobacco company, I'm talking about, it reminds me of Mad Men. Like I'm going back to the 60s. They're making all kinds of money selling tobacco products in India. I wouldn't be caught dead working for a tobacco company myself. I mean, I just can't be associated with that business, for the health issues. But the third world, they're just catching up to us. They're 50 years behind us, and they don't care. They don't know, and they're living it up right now because they haven't had generations of relatives die from lung cancer from tobacco products yet, you see. So here they are coming on this cruise ship having a party, and what do a young 1,300 young guys think about if they're not married, or if they are married, but if they aren't married, they got one thing on their mind, and that is expanding the human race, and they want to be part of it. So here are these scantily clad women that were obviously hired by the tobacco company to entertain the troops, as it were, dancing on this platform with this music. And the whole upper deck was just drowning in 1,300 males gawking and taking pictures with their iPhones. And oh my gosh, and what do you do with the 1,800 regular passengers with kids and grandparents and everything else? I mean, this did not make for a happy time for everybody else, especially being unannounced like this was. And of course, this party didn't stop. This party went all 72 hours. This thing went on a 3-day bender, and there was no stopping this party. This thing went on. There were guys going in between cabins and whooping it up and having a great old time. And if you happen to have a cabin beside a cabin where there were 6 guys just having a great old time talking about war stories at the office, oh, it couldn't have been good. It just could not have been good. And there were reports of the crew was terrified. I mean, terrified. The crew, especially, I can imagine the female members of the crew. Oh, they didn't want to go anywhere on that ship by themselves. And then the passengers were terrified, especially the female passengers. They didn't want to go anywhere on that ship on their own with these guys out of control. And so people were talking about how they're walking down hallways and doors are open, like the doors are wide open because, you know, one guy's saying to another guy, we're in cabin 1442, come on over and join us, whatever, you know, and we're in 1328, and we're in 1744. People are coming and going all over the place, visiting up with all these guys. And these innocent travelers, vacationers, are walking the gauntlet is what they're doing. They're walking the gauntlet, and they're afraid of what's around each corner as they walk past the room, what's going on in there that anyone can see. Oh my goodness gracious. So needless to say, there were complaints made to Royal Caribbean. There were a few passengers that lodged a few concerns, sure, at the front desk and through emails and you name it. And that hit head office pretty fast, I'm sure. And turns out that after the cruise was over, the cruise line did a quick investigation, came to the conclusion that we sort of screwed up here, and they refunded the 1,800 innocent victims their full fare of the whole deal. Apparently, while they were on the cruise, they couldn't even go to the buffet. The Indian group that came, the 1,300, they, I guess, had made arrangements. And I tell you, this just blows my mind that this actually got done. They made arrangements with Royal Caribbean to bring their own food with them that they like to eat from India, whatever their specialty items are. And those were arranged to be delivered in Singapore. And all the preparation of all that food was in the buffet for these 1,300 guys. And so the buffet was shut down. The only people that were allowed in the buffet restaurant were members of the tobacco company from India. So all the regular passengers, they were denied access to the buffet. They were also basically denied access to the entire upper deck of the ship because it was a free-for-all, who knows what was going on, and they didn't want to be there anyway. And so no pool access, no jacuzzi access, and then along the hallways, it was, complete terror. And then in the main public, promenade area inside the ship wouldn't have been fun either. So it was just a disaster. They all got a refund for the entire cost of the cruise. But here's the thing. It's a 3-day cruise. So, you might have paid $300-400 for your fare per person, obviously. You get it back. And I guess they can use it on a future cruise, would they want to. But, if you only had a week off for a holiday, for the foreseeable 6 months or so, this was supposed to be a 3-day holiday in that week for you to relax. Didn't happen, and these folks were not pleased. So I made a video about it, and a bunch of you, I know, have seen it. I've got a bunch of comments from you, ton of thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for watching it today, and some of you have been sharing it on Facebook to your friends. Thank you very much for that, too. I really, really do appreciate it. So there you go. That's the first story of the day, the Voyager of the Seas. The second story of the day happens to be involved with, or involves Viking. Our friends at Viking. Now, those of you who are familiar with the cruise business, you know about Viking Cruise Lines. Those of you who are not, I will tell you that Viking does two kinds of cruising. Viking has river cruising, which is what they started with about 10, 15 years ago. They have at least 64 vessels in the rivers of Europe and China right now. Viking River Cruise, primo, 6-star, everything. They're all-inclusive cruises. The river cruises all have balcony rooms, of course. They all provide the specialty dining. They provide drinks. I mean, they're really inclusive with onshore excursions on these river stops. It's a bucket list item for me, I'll tell you that. Viking has been seriously looking into coming to the United States. They would be very interested in offering river cruises up and down the Mississippi River. And they have been studying this for 6 years. They're not fooling around. Now, in the meantime, like in the 6 years that they've been doing that, they've been doing something else. They've created an ocean division, an ocean cruising division. They now have 7 ships on the seas with another 8 on order. And it's like every year they get 2 ships a year, practically 1.5, 2 ships a year. It's incredible growth pace. They're rated the best cruise line 3 years in a row by cruisers because their ocean cruises are all inclusive, just like their river cruises are all inclusive. There's one level, there's two levels on the ocean liner where you can get the primo cabin with all the primo everything. Then there's the standard cabin where it's a balcony cabin on the ocean ship, and you do get all specialty dining, and you get beer and wine at dinner. But if you want extra drinks, you pay extra. If you take the upper end package with a nicer cabin, you get everything, and that's unlimited drinks and you name it. And both versions give you free Wi-Fi. They give you free shore passes, like excursions, all this stuff. Very popular cruise line. They want to be in the USA. They want to ply the Mississippi, and I can see it coming. I feel it. It's going to happen. You're going to get on a Viking cruise ship in maybe New Orleans, and you're going to take an ocean cruise for a week, and you're going to go to the Caribbean and Mexico, and you're going to come back to New Orleans, and you're going to transfer right onto a riverboat, and you're going to go up the Mississippi for a week and back to New Orleans. I can see that coming. Back-to-back Mississippi ocean cruising on Viking. It's only a matter of time. However, because of the Jones Act in the United States, cruise lines cannot operate within the U.S. only unless they have all-American cruise. And the problem with that is that if you were to hire an all-American crew on a riverboat cruise for Viking, you're talking about probably 50% more in price than a typical Viking cruise in Europe. So, in Europe, it's not uncommon to pay $200, $400, $500 a day or more per person for a Viking riverboat cruise. And now you're looking at $400 to $600 to $700 a day a person for the same thing in the U.S., pricing it right out of the market. So for Viking, they cannot operate as their own company a river cruise scenario. They can't do it because they have their cruise liners and so on, and those cruise liners are staffed with offshore staff. So what they're going to do, and what they've been negotiating to do, is they're negotiating to have a shipbuilder build the ships on their behalf. And I'm just going to look up the name of the builder. It's Edison Chouest, Chouest, or Chouest. Edison Chouest is the builder, and what's going to happen is the builder is going to, in effect, charter the ship to Viking. So the builder is an American company, and the American company will staff the ship, and Viking will charter the boat. There will be 6, by the way, when it's all said and done by 2027. There'll be 6 of these things. All 6 will be chartered by Viking. They'll have Viking signage everywhere. And they will adhere to Viking standards. So the entire cruise will be trained the Viking way, how to look after the American cruiser, how to give 6-star service on a river cruise. For the builder, it's a great deal because the builder has a guaranteed buyer for every ship they build. They get a guaranteed payment every month, or however the arrangement will work. It'll be probably a 10-year deal per ship easily, and it'll allow Viking to get a footprint in the United States on domestic soil and look after visitors up and down the Mississippi. Now, they're talking about 7-day cruises starting in New Orleans and returning to New Orleans. They're talking about a 7-day cruise from New Orleans to Memphis, and then Memphis back to New Orleans, 7 days each way. They're talking about St. Louis to St. Paul, and St. Paul back to St. Louis. There will be all kinds of combinations. Now, the predictions from Viking are that by the time they get this running, they're going to start this whole show in 2021. 2 years, they start with the first ship. By the time they get the 6 ships, they will be handling 100,000 people a year in the U.S. on river cruises. This is not a little, well, let's do 10,000 people a year and see how it goes. No. This is going to happen. And it's going to be done right, and it's going to be done in volume, and there are going to be opportunities for Americans to pick from a number of different cruises. This is going to be just exciting, absolutely exciting. 100,000 people, that means 2,000 a week have to be handled. Now, I did the math quickly, and I'm going 6 ships, 1 week cruise per ship, 2,000 people overall. You're talking about ships in the 350 size, 350 person size. Now, in Europe, They're doing cruises up and down these rivers in Europe with anywhere from 140 to 190 people per ship. Here, we're talking 350. These are large river cruise ships. These are not the quaint little European versions. The talk is that they're going to be 5 stories tall, these ships. And they're going to have amenities on these ships, including an infinity pool at the back, which is kind of a standard feature on their ocean liners. If you've seen the videos, I've made a few videos on Viking ocean cruises. Check them out if you can. So these are going to be quite luxurious. So they're going to be, it's going to be, like I said, it's a 6-star line, all inclusive. It'll be expensive, but it'll be top notch. And they're going to offer a varied variety of ports of call that I think is going to be quite an interesting thing to behold. So we're going to have to look for that and watch for that. Like I said, I caught that story this morning, and I think there will be a lot more press coming as we go forward. Should be most interesting. The next story I have for you today, get the stories out of the way and then we'll just talk. The next story to get out of the way is concerning Galveston. What a year they're having in Galveston, especially the last, month and a half? 2 months. There's been so much rain in the coastal area of Texas and Mexico, in the Gulf of Mexico. Galveston is actually drowning. Carnival has been almost announcing every week for the last 5-6 weeks. They have been telling their passengers who are coming to the port to get on a cruise, get there early, much earlier than you thought, because Galveston is underwater quite often, especially at the port area. And this is unbelievable. I'm not sure what they're going to do about this to solve this problem, because I can understand if you're 30 years old and you got to walk a block in your shorts through some water to get to the cruise terminal, you'll tough it out. But if you're 65, 75 years old and you've got high blood pressure pills and you take angina pills, you can't do that. How do you get these people off the ship and on the ship safely if there's 2 or 3 feet of water in the streets of Galveston all around the port area? They were talking the other day about Interstate 45 was closed. The interstate was shut down in places leading in and out of Galveston because of flooding. There's all kinds of problems in Galveston, and there are, I think, at least 4 cruise ships that utilize Galveston as their home port. I'm wondering what the future is for this. How much longer will this be tolerated? Now, if this is a seasonal event and it's one of those seasons, I guess you kind of go with the flow. But if this stretches too much longer, the season is extended, or it isn't seasonal, it's permanent, these cruise lines are going to have to do something. They're going to have to figure out a way to get people to the ship dry and get them off the ship dry. Or they're going to have to move to another port. They may have to abandon Galveston altogether and utilize Houston or utilize New Orleans or somewhere else, wherever you can reasonably get people to a ship without having them walk through feet of water, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 feet of water. You can't do that. That's ridiculous. Anyway, so that's a story that is coming back again and again and again. I see constant alerts coming out of Carnival warning their passengers about flooding in Galveston. And this is not a one-time thing. And the last piece of news today happens to concern the Titanic II. A number of you have asked me over the last few months, Bruce, have you heard anything about the Titanic II? What is the deal on that ship? Whatever happened to it? Story goes that it was supposed to come out in 2015 originally, ran into financial issues, and it was delayed until 16. Then it was delayed until 2018. Then I didn't hear anything about it. I had heard that it was like sort of in perpetual suspended animation. Finally, today, I think yesterday and today, news is coming out that the ship is going ahead. It is going to be built in a Chinese shipyard. This will be an ocean-going ship. Unlike the other Titanic #2 that is going to be a floating hotel inland somewhere in China that's not going anywhere, this ship is designed to ply the high seas. Now, apparently, because of its length and height Modern day marine standards dictate that that ship, the original actual Titanic today, would not be allowed to operate as a licensed passenger carrier because it would be too unstable. It had to be made wider. So this ship will be 12 feet wider than the original Titanic to adhere to modern day marine law with regard to stability this way versus this way. The ship will have all the modern navigation tools. There will be 4 stacks on top. The first 2 stacks that are up there house all the satellite and radar equipment. They're going to be disguised as smokestacks, but they're not going to emit any smoke whatsoever. They're going to be filled, jam-packed with Wi-Fi connections, radar connections, you name it. All the communication stuff is going to be in those 2 stacks. The 2 final stacks, I think one of them will definitely be an exhaust type stack. I'm not sure what the other one's for. And they're talking about the bottom part of the stacks. They're going to actually build some kind of a viewing platform. So people will actually be able to go up into the stacks themselves. Because again, there are no emissions. There's no exhaust going through the first 2 or 3 of them. They're going to have a scenario where you're going to be able to walk up or use an elevator to get to a certain point in the smokestack or the so-called look-alike smokestack, and you'll have a fantastic view of the sea and from the top of the ship out to get a view of what's going on. So that's what's being built into those for at least 2 of the 4 smokestacks. Other than that, the story goes they want to adhere to this ship in a big way. They want to replicate a lot of this cruise ship. They want to create first, second, and third class passenger accommodations and amenities on this ship, which I don't know. To me, I'm a first class guy or nothing on a deal like this. If the price of the first class is so out of reach, I won't be on that ship in any other class. I wouldn't take it second or third class. They're showing off potential photographs of the cabins that will replicate 1910 cabins. I'm not a fan. I'm spoiled. I'm sure, however, the ship will be air conditioned. I'm sure the ship will be heated with modern day facilities. The ship will have modern day bathrooms. There will be no straw on the floors on third class or anything like that. I doubt that third class passengers will be barred from walking the whole ship, although there might be portions of the first class cabin area that you can't get to. Makes sense. Like the Haven in the Norwegian, you can't just freely walk about the Haven without being up there, invited up there, or being a guest. But this ship, they're talking about the restaurants. They want to replicate the look of the restaurants. They want to look at the feel of it all. They want to replicate the look of the exercise areas. They want to replicate the grand staircase that we all remember from the movie that we've seen and pictures in black and white of the original. So they really want to do a lot of replication of the actual ship. They really feel that they have. There are enough fans in the world today that will pay the dollars to go on this ship to make this ship pay. I don't know if it'll work or not. It'll be a one of a kind, of course. There won't be 10 of them or anything like that. I think it'll be a transatlantic liner, certainly in the summer months. They'll try to make it a transatlantic liner. The winter, I don't know what their plans are for it. Will they bring it to the Caribbean and run it as a Caribbean ship for the... You're up against the Oasis of the Seas or the Symphony of the Seas for a 1-week Caribbean cruise between a replica of the Titanic or a Symphony of the Seas cruise ship, or how about the Bliss? You're up against the Bliss with all the features that ship has. Or how about Mariner of the Seas, just redone by Royal Caribbean, $120 million refurbishment. The Mariner of the Seas has the flow rider. It has the sky pad. That's that jumping, that trampoline thing with the virtual reality on glasses. And you're up against the Titanic, which is a throwback to 1910. And I can take an inside room on the Mariner of the Seas for a 3-day cruise for $200. Or do I take a Titanic third class for, I don't know, how much will that be? Will that be $200? Will that be $400? Will that be $500? And I don't think I want to do that. Anyway, so we'll find out. The entrepreneur who's behind the Titanic II has been dreaming of this for probably decades, and he's just putting the money on the table to build it. I don't know how many dollars this is going to run him. 400 million, 500 million. I have no idea. We're going to find out. It's going to hold 2,400 passengers when it's all said and done. 900 crew, so 3,300 people will be on this vessel. You put it up against a modern day cruise ship that's 1,000 feet long, and it's quite a bit shorter. It'll be quite a bit narrower. Will it have stabilizers? I hope so. Not that the original had stabilizers, but I would add stabilizers to this thing. We're going to find out. How seaworthy is this vehicle going to be if it has a similar look on the hull? I just don't know. There are going to be a lot of questions asked and answered going forward, and I welcome all of you to join with me as we follow that story, because I'll follow the story as it continues on, and we'll see what happens. There you go. Anyway, give me your thoughts on all these stories. What are you thinking about it? If you have any questions about cruising in general, just let me know. I'll say hi to everybody that's here quickly. Tom Henry is here. Robert Brandt, of course. Thank you, both of you guys, for all your continued support. Paul Wilson, buddy, welcome back. Cat Rose, too. And Nurse Nancy, hi, everybody. Sylvia's here. Wes Morrison from New Braunfels, hi, how are you? I saw Tina sign in today. I think Tina's new. Tina Matzel, hi, Bruce, love your channel. I wrote her back, said, hi, Tina, thank you. Welcome to the show. I hope you're new. If you're a regular or if you're a repeat customer, welcome back. But I can't remember that name. Brittany Lockwood, as usual, is here. Hi, Brittany, welcome back. Nurse Nancy, of course, Cool Jazz from New York. Hi, Bruce, overcast today in the Big Apple. I noticed Alberta had snow. I was watching the Banff live cam. So pretty. It's just so pretty. Oh, yeah, but downtown Calgary for rush hour, it ain't pretty, baby. It's not pretty at all. It ain't pretty to get to Banff, but once you're there, it's nice. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, my goodness. Brittany's having trouble with one of her professors. He's only showing up a couple of days a week. This is not good stuff. Hopefully that will be resolved. Paul Wilgus is here saying hi, everybody. Hi there, Paul. Sylvan Forrest is here as well. Hi, Sylvan. Welcome back. Tracy Dunlop is here. Hi there. Cool Jazz, of course, is here. Welcome, Cool Jazz. Who else is here that I can say? Miraculous Journey is hi. Hello, Miraculous Journey. Crazy Rich guys are here. How you guys doing? Norman Duarte, raining down Bridgeport, Connecticut. Norman, how are you, pal? Welcome back. Who else is here today? Norman saying, like that story from here, TWB, like that story. Kevin M. Ming, good evening from Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome, Kevin. Welcome back to the show. I'm glad you're here. Wendy Thompson, all on the Traveling with Bruce train. Next stop, 4,000. Yeah, we're heading for 4,000 subscribers. It's going to happen. Thank you, Wendy, for all your support and best wishes. Nurse Nancy, that video was nuts. Glenda Moore, hi. I'm going on my first cruise October the 6th to 13th. What are the pointers you might have for a newbie? Glenda, where are you going? What ship are you going on? And where are you headed? Tell us that. You might have been asked by my regulars, and we'll help you out with anything you need to know. Reggie Nerman, remember that TV series from the 60s, The Real McCoys, Walter Brennan. Boy, I don't remember that. I remember of it. I remember the title, and Walter Brennan, the actor. Yeah, I remember him. Why do you ask? McCoy was a rum runner in Prohibition Barbados to New York, says Robert Brandt. Tom Henry saying hi, everybody. Let's see here. What should I do to make memories? Glenda's asking. Zip line is my first. Oh, if you're taking a zip line, you're either on the seaside or you're on one of those Oasis class ships from Royal Caribbean, or you're going to an island stop that has a zip line. Glenda, we'll figure this out with you. We just need more info. Who else is here? Libby Morrison, Wes Morrison, are you watching? Wes is in big trouble. Reggie and her man. Reggie's here. Elaine Shropsphere. Hi, Bruce. Listening to you from the pedicure chair in Columbia, South Carolina. You never want to miss an episode of Traveling with Bruce, even when you're getting a pedicure. You got to love that. Elaine, thank you so much for joining in. Glad you're here. Tom Henry said of 3 American tourists are in Pretty Blue. He's saying, "Oh my goodness, now we know who got that luggage." Norman, I think I have a case for it. iPad got to size it. Frid TB. I don't know what that means. Let's see, Glinda Moore, thanks for the pointers. Yes, just being on Harmony of the Seas will be awesome in itself with 3 good friends. Oh, you're gonna have a great time. Harmony of the Seas. You're probably on a 7-day cruise, and if I'm guessing right, you're gonna love this ship for all the amenities you're gonna see. Check out everything on board that ship. Really enjoy yourself. You're probably gonna end up on a private island. You might end up in Haiti, Labadee. Or you might end up in Coco Key. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to take you, but maybe Nassau or St. Thomas. But by all means, you're going to enjoy that ship. I think there's a lot to see and do on this thing. Give it a good walkabout for those, first couple of days and see it all. Try to see it all, and you'll see some of the shows. Catch those. Try to get a reservation at the back of the ship for the Aqua Show. You'll probably have to make a reservation for that. You might be able to do that now through the app that they have on the website or through your own app. They may have already given you coordinates for that. So I would look into that very much. I would not bother with the drink package or anything like that. Just pay a la carte as you go, because you don't know how much you'll enjoy the movement of the ship and how thirsty you'll be or what kind of libations you'll want. When you go off the ship, you can buy a booze, a drink or two on shore for a lot less money. That would be a couple of my tips. You want to catch some of the videos I've made about taking a cruise, tips on cruising, talk about what you can bring on board and what you should consider bringing on board. You might want to do that. I think you're going to have a great time. Kenrick is here. Hi from sunny Barbados. How you doing, buddy? Glenda Moore. I'll be posting pics. Fantastic, Glenda. Post pics on my Facebook page, Traveling with Bruce. That is awesome. Let's see. Norman, their own food to be cooked on the ship. That's right, Norman. That's what those guys did. The 1,300 of them from India. They brought their own food. They took over the buffet. Matthew Bassler, it was a floating cat house. I think so. It got kind of crazy. Tom Henry, I love Barbados, signing up to see the Concorde, but it was canceled, so I had my first submarine ride. Rita Freeman, the Voyager is a beautiful ship. Went to New Zealand on it. Silly of Royal Caribbean to let that happen, but they did the right thing, refunding the innocent victims. I agree. That is the smartest move to make. Would Norwegian have done that? I don't think so. I think Norwegian would have let them suffer. They've done it before, but Carnival, Royal Caribbean stepped up. Carnival also steps up when there's an issue, but not Norwegian lately. Interestingly, MG, look at the police report. The cruise line is covering it up. Some of the women are saying they were raped. I had not heard that, MG. I don't know that at all. That is wherever you're getting that from. I don't know, but we'll see. Robert Brandt, Indians and a Supreme Court nominee on board. Robert. Robert, you just cost me 20 subscribers. I just lost 20 subscribers because of that. Thanks, Robert. Reggie, man, yeah, what if somebody saved for a year for this trip? That would have really been a bummer. See, there you go. That's exactly right. You save for a year to go on a cruise, even though a 3-day cruise, and you get these morons. Yeah, that's not what you want. Sounds like the cruise from hell. Brittany is saying, I agree. Tom Henry saying, I would never do a 3-day cruise. Me neither. I wouldn't get caught on something like that because that's what you're setting up for. A drunk tank. That could well be it. Anyway, Brittany is glad that they gave a refund. Let's see here. MG is wanting to know, let's see if the Mississippi River cruises are cheaper than other river cruises. MG saying Viking is expensive, and I don't know how it can be. I just don't think it'll be cheap at all. It should be nice, but I doubt it'll be cheap. We'll have to see how this works. Reggie Interman says, I'm not taking short cruises either. I need longer time to unwind once I get on the ship. Absolutely. Let's see here. People are talking about the judge. John L is here. Don L. Hi, Bruce and everyone. What a nightmare cruise for the ordinary cruisers. Glad they got a full refund. Great videos always, Bruce. Thank you, Donnell from Ireland. Donnell is near Cork, Ireland, and that is awesome. I have viewers from Ireland, from Australia, the USA, Canada, Germany, from all over the place. I love it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in from everywhere. Wendy Thompson, the Delta and Mississippi Queens were more expensive than a Caribbean cruise in 1990. But it sure would be nice to do the Southern Mississippi River. Tom Henry, that's why I asked. AC Super Sport, hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Donnell, like everyone watching Salvation Series 2 when they're not watching TWB, it's just up on Netflix, he's saying. Excuse me. Wendy Thompson, Mom and I did a 3-night trip up to Hannibal from St. Louis. Tom Henry, 7 weeks till I get to see Robert Brandt and the Crazy Rich Guys travels in St. Thomas. It's coming, buddy. Cat Rose saying, wow. Robert Brandt, he's smiling. Cat Rose going to wonder how much it's going to run this river cruise. I wonder how much. Mo Fam, water levels on the upper Mississippi are very unpredictable, could be problematic at times. They'll keep an eye on it, I'm sure. Yes, Mo Fam. And certain times of the year, MG says, you can go from New Orleans to Chicago on the Mississippi. It all depends. When do you have locks and bridges and watch the water levels? If the water level is low, barges can't make it up the river either. There you go. Let's see here. These ships can also go up the Columbia out of Oregon. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that. They may add that eventually. We'll have to watch Viking to see how far they want to take this business. I guess how successful they are in the Mississippi will tell them. Volume is the key, I think, also. Let's go here. Who else is here? Arnie Texan, downtown Galveston is hurting bad. He's saying, I believe it, sir. I feel for them. MoFam, Disney just announced they are leaving Galveston for New Orleans in 2020. There you go. Wendy, tugboats push them up or down the Hudson. Let's go. The Galveston seawall just doesn't cut it, Nurse Nancy is saying. Cat Rose, MG Tow might have to deal with locks at Waterford. MG Tow, Disney should come back to Long Beach, so an excursion of Disneyland and other stuff in the greater LA area. Brittany, cruise lines need to look for an alternative port, a super port soon. I'm surprised people are not complaining about the issue having to do with the port of Galveston. MoFam, I love visiting Galveston. However, the ship I was on delayed departing and arriving due to fog in January. This is another issue that Galveston suffers from. I believe also Houston. I think Houston has fog issues from time to time as well. Wendy Thompson, St. Louis has 5 bridges that cross the river. MoFam, Disney uses San Diego. And Arnie Texan, normal rain in September is 2 inches. They had 22 inches, most of it on weekends, 3 to 4 inches in a couple of hours. It just overwhelms the drainage area around Galveston. You just can't handle that kind of rain in such a short period of time. It has been terrible. Just awful. It's crazy rain is exactly right. Unbelievable. MoFam is saying MG Tow. Disney has 3 on the way, 3 new ships on the way, so you never know. Disney will be up to 6 or 7 ships within the next 3 years, but they need as many as they can get because they're selling out. Donnell, the situation in Galveston sounds unreal. What a problem for the cruise lines and the passengers. Hope they find a good solution soon. Well, I don't know if they can, but a simple solution for the cruise lines is go to another home port, which is sad for Galveston, but we'll see. We'll watch it. Brittany says that the price is right. I would sail on the Titanic #2. Robert Brandt is throwing me thumbs ups. I got 22 thumbs up so far today. Thank you, everybody who's giving me thumbs ups today. I really appreciate it. If you can spare one, please throw it in. MG Tow, Bruce, they have a European mentality. Everyone is created equal, but some more equal than others. The Titanic does not have balconies. None of them. Not a single balcony on the Titanic. This is the other thing. I don't understand how they're going to make it. I really don't. We modern day cruisers, we are so spoiled with all the modern amenities of cruising, including balconies and the upper pool decks and the big theaters, virtual reality games. I don't know how Titanic is going to make it. I don't know. I can see where I could see where people would be interested in a 1 or a 2 day cruise on a Titanic type ship, maybe New York to Halifax and back, or Boston, like get to Canada back for the Jones Act, I guess. I can see that working. But across the Atlantic for 6 days, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I could handle that. I'd feel kind of locked in compared to a cruise ship with a balcony. But I guess these folks just feel that you build it, they will come. That's their mentality. That must be it. We'll have to see. Brittany, I would love to be able to experience each class, but I would love to sail in first class. Let's see. Arnie, Texas. Yes, it has rained almost every day in Galveston. Stayed between the Gulf and downtown Houston. Problem is, port roads are 2 feet below grade, so all drainage is pumped out, same as New Orleans. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Someone wants to stay on a ship. You want to stay on a real ship, MG is saying. Save the USS United States. Yeah, the problem with the USS United States, I think it's $1 billion salvaging job, and that just won't pay either. It just will not pay. Ann Jordan, good morning, Bruce. It's 25 in Brisbane. Hi, Ann Jordan. Welcome to the channel. Paul Wilkes is saying hi. Susan Hoffman is here. Hello, everyone. She is saying, Wes Mercer, I'm looking at a map of the Gulf of Mexico. I was wondering if a Viking Ocean could leave from Cancun, sail to New Orleans where the passengers could switch to a river ship. I bet you they could. I believe so. I think the day will come that you'll take a Viking river cruise. You might start in Miami and you end up in New Orleans after visiting maybe Cayman Islands, something like that. And now you take a river cruise up the Mississippi and back, and then you come back and get on a Viking Ocean cruise again with a different itinerary back to Miami. And it's 3 weeks on Viking. And talk about being spoiled rotten, being fed to the nines and having a pretty good deal. You'd be pampered. It would be a pretty nice experience. Pretty cool. That would be a very neat, varied cruise. 3 cruises back to back to back on Viking. But I see it. I see it happening. It's coming. I think Viking. These guys are just so on the ball that I think that this could well be something coming. Juan is saying hello, my old friend. Hello, Juan. Brittany, I would love to see Titanic II ship do at least one cruise out of New Orleans. We'll have to see if this ever really takes place. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. There you go. We'll see what that deal is all about. Galveston's got problems. Titanic II will be interesting. Viking, yeah, interesting stuff. Voyager of the seas. My gosh, what is happening there? I don't know. Jen, I think, is heading out. Jen, are you getting some groceries? Yes. Jen is getting groceries because we got a donation today. And so thank you, Auntie. Oh, Jen's laughing now. Jen is heading to do some groceries, going to brave the weather. It's gotten awful dark outside in the last half an hour. Dark gray clouds. Of course, we have our car in the carport down below, so she won't get wet there. But at the grocery store, you never know. Thank you, Miss Jen. We'll have a wonderful dinner a little later on this evening. Folks, I'm on again tonight at 8 o'clock. That is in, 2 hours and 12 minutes. So don't forget to join me if you like to have some fun with live trivia. I'm on tonight for live trivia. Love to have you join me. I think it'll be a good time. Reggie and her man, Ann Jordan's, my man-made fried chicken, mac and cheese, broccoli for dinner. I ate way too much. People are already eating dinner out east, and why not? It's past. It's coming up to 6 o'clock Eastern time. Here it's only 2:48 Western time, West Coast time. My daughter made it safe and sound. For those of you who are curious, to Los Angeles, all is well. She has been sending us photos of her condo down there. Her employer has shifted her for 3 to 6 months to Los Angeles. We are all excited about this for her. She's getting reminded of California life. She went to high school in Palm Desert, California. She knows all the stores in the malls. She remembers them, and she's seeing them already. And she's not having any problem with finding good food in California. No problem in LA to find good food. And so she's enjoying that very much, and we're just thrilled about that. I'm trying to put together a pattern, a plan, some kind of a scheming thing to get down to LA with Jennifer and I, where we will visit with our daughter, take a cruise, and work our way back here. But I haven't decided yet on how this is going to work out. It may well be that we drive down to LA, catch up with our daughter for a few days. We might then grab a plane from LAX to Miami and grab a cruise out of Florida. Of course, it'll be a meet and greet. I'll let you all in on it, obviously, when I know. And then fly back to LA, catch a couple more days with her, and then work our way back. We will let you know when we know if we can pull this off. We'll see what we can do. Let's see here. Brittany is saying, I really do not think Viking will find Mississippi River cruises to be very profitable for at least several years. Bonnie, hey, Ann Jordan, and Desi, hello all. Hi, Desi from Chicago. How are you? We'll find out. We're going to see if you're going to operate a 6-star luxury operation, and you've got a 5-story tall river cruise ship that can hold 350 to 400 people, you got room, you've got amenities, you've got the service, you've got all the bells and whistles, you've got the stops along the shore. You're offering shore excursions as part of the cruise. You're going to offer a full meal deal to anyone that takes a cruise on any of these 6 ships with all kinds of different itineraries. I think this might work. I can't. I can't see it working out on a so-called discount line. I can't see it like I can't see a Pullman tour type operation working out. I can't. It's just too expensive to run on the Mississippi River. You have to employ American personnel. You have to adhere to U.S. work standards. So it's expensive. It just is. And uh, I think that you can get away with it. Financially, it'll work if you offer the high-end cruise. That's the key. The high-end cruise is the way to go about it. You give the discerning traveler the best of the best. I think they'll pay the price because this is something they've never done before. To be able to, get on a vessel of this caliber with this kind of class of service. Now, the cruise ships that are already doing the river cruise ships that are already doing this work, I'm sure are fine. I'm sure they're doing great. But if you're offering a combination deal between Viking ocean cruises and a river cruise, can you imagine a back-to-back-to-back where the first one you take is St. Louis down to New Orleans, the second one you take is New Orleans over to Amsterdam, and the third one is a river cruise from Amsterdam down to Vienna? How about a back-to-back-to-back like that? Wow. Now you're talking from the middle of America to the middle of Europe on a riverboat, two riverboats and a cruise ship, and maybe on the way back the same thing. Could you imagine that kind of a package? I mean, Viking can do it all. They could offer a riverboat cruise out of Europe to Amsterdam, an ocean crossing to the U.S., a river cruise up the Mississippi, then an ocean cruise from New Orleans through the Panama Canal, all the way up to Oregon, a river cruise up the river, the Columbia River there, then a cruise back on a Viking from Oregon up to Alaska. I mean, just think about the possibilities. Once they have 15 ocean-going vessels, they've got 6, 8, or 10 river boats in the U.S., a couple up in the Columbia, the rest in Mississippi, 64 the rest of the planet. Wow. You want to talk about a world excursion combination cruise that Viking can offer you? Endless possibilities. I might be 5 years to 10 years ahead of myself, but just think about the endless varieties that could be put together here. This really could be something. We'll have to see how this comes out. Paul Willis, I think Viking will pull a lot of European passengers to the Mississippi. I agree wholeheartedly on that one, and they will gladly pay top dollar for top service. They'll pay it. Absolutely. Reggie and her man, Bonnie has heat broken down there, have family there, went in August. It was just brutal. Cat Rose drools. Reggie and her man, Bruce's dream cruise. Bonnie, Reggie and her man. No, we don't start to get even a bit cooler until the end of October. 6 months of 90-degree weather and high humidity. The AC is cranking. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I'm hoping Debbie Emanuel and Jim Thomas. I hope you guys have got cooler weather in Chico, in that area, Northern California, and I'm hoping you've got some shower activity, and those fires are down to nothing. I'm praying for that, because up here the air is crystal clear, clean and clear. Absolutely. Driving to Coeur d'Alene on the weekend, perfect clear air, absolutely gorgeous. But now, of course, we have the shower activity. But that's the time of the year. What are you going to do? Boy, certain parts of the U.S. Can't get dry. Certain parts of the U.S. can't get wet. Some parts of the U.S. can't get cool. It's insane. Just crazy. What are you going to do? Anyway, there it is, Bonnie. I wish I could do a river cruise and an ocean cruise, but I'd have to win the lottery. That's right, Bonnie. Just one little, one pull of a slot machine, or just those right 6 numbers, and you got it made. I've been working on that theory since 1980. I don't know what. And then I became a YouTuber, and anyway, I'm trying to go on cruises this way. So laugh out loud. Me too, Bonnie. We're all looking for that. Well, there you go, folks. This is the first of 2 shows today. I hope you enjoyed my show today. I hope I didn't bore you too much with too much talking. Thank you for all your questions and your comments and joining in on the show. Thank you again, Auntie Jane. Thank you, Randy Lucas, Michelle Lucas. Thank you guys for your contributions today. You guys just make my life, let it happen. It keeps on going. Cool Jazz Bruce, do you have past Bronx Do you drive past Bronx to get to Coeur d'Alene? I'd love to. Believe me, I really would. Bernie, Bonnie, my friend won over $7,000 on a cruise slot machine. Nice. That is awesome. Oh man, that's a win of a win. I'll tell you, because getting a win on a slot machine on a cruise ship is not easy the way they are rigged, but that is fantastic. Tom Henry, scenic route, cool jazz. Yeah, that would be a scenic route. Creston to Bronx over to Coeur d'Alene. I'll tell you, I love New York. I love the Big Apple. I've been there a number of times. My daughter, actually, being a copywriter for advertising, her dream is to actually be a copywriter in New York. And the firm that she's with have told her, just stick around a while and put in for transfer. We'll send you to New York. I've said to her, look, just be the copywriter you are. They're already sending you to Los Angeles on accounts to help out with accounts. They're going to send you to New York too. There will come a time where there'll be an account that needs help. They're going to send you over there to kind of fix things up. The time will come. You might as well go that way, because that way they'll pay your rent for you and give you your salary. Anyway, we'll see someday. Once my daughter's in New York, I will be visiting her for sure. I'll make up an excuse. Got to see how she's doing. The kid, could be getting thin without eating too much. Got to make sure she's eating just right. Bonnie Bernstein, her first cruise, progressive slot machine, and she was my cabin mate. Yeah. And Jordan, awesome show as always, Bruce. See you all at trivia. Hey, Auntie Jade, Tom, Henry, bye, Paul, Reggie, and your man, bye, John Boy, Brittany, Lockwood, Bruce. You are never boring, or at least I do not think you are. Bonnie Bernstein, my niece works at MTV in New York, born and raised in Florida. Cool jazz. I looked at Costco today and saw Bronx. Paul Wilgus, later, Tom. I'll see you guys hopefully at 8 o'clock tonight. Come on back for trivia. That's in about 2 hours from now. I'd love to have you come by. Let me see what the topics are tonight. I got some topics here. I got a couple of quick 10s. I put some quick 10s together for you. So that should be fun. I can't even tell you what those are. I got something here. I got a couple of, I got a good one tonight. I've got a quiz tonight that a kind of a quiz I've never given you before. And I'm going to spring it on you guys tonight. I am looking forward to how you handle this one. I'm loving this. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right. Thank you for joining me. This is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce, where it's getting really dark outside, and my lamp is the only source of light that's in this house, because there's no light coming in from the outside. I'll tell you that. You can tell when the sun is shining, because this side of my face is all lit up. It's glowing. There's no light. Look how dark this thing is over here. It's dark. And it's still broad daylight out there. We got rain. We got rain. I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock Eastern time in 2 hours. Thanks for joining me. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and have a good one. We'll see you real soon. Bye for now.